What's up, PSGINT family? It's your boy PSGINT here, and today we're doing the preview that we all have been waiting for. Paris Saint-Germain contre Juventus, the first game of the Champions League group stage this Tuesday, 6th of September 2022 at the Parc des Princes. Nothing better with the biggest game of the group stage at home as your first game. I remember the Real game we had in the group stage, beating them 3-0, and also that Bayern Munich one, beating them 3-0. So I want something similar in this game. Taking a look at the last game of both clubs, Paris Saint-Germain were victorious against FC Nantes 3-0. Should have probably even scored more, but Messi unplayable, Kylian Mbappe deadly finisher, Neymar coming on and showing his flexibility. Whilst Juventus, on the other hand, drew 1-1 to Fiorentina, a game which they probably should have lost, with Fiorentina having 17 shots to Juventus, I think 5, and Luka Jovic also missed a penalty for Fiorentina. So Paris Saint-Germain are coming into this game with the best form so far, I think, across Europe. Whilst Juventus are coming into this tie not as well. I mean, if we look at them in the table, Paris Saint-Germain top of the league, 16 points, with only one draw in their first 6 games of the season, whilst Juventus is 5th in the table with only 2 wins from their possible 5 first games, having 3 draws. So they haven't lost a game, but that doesn't mean that much. So if you look at these stats, Paris Saint-Germain have scored 24 goals so far this season, while Juventus have only scored 7 goals this season. It's a big difference there in attack, but I wouldn't blame it on the attack personnel for Juventus. I blame it more on the midfield, because Juventus have a similar problem to Paris Saint-Germain last season. Their midfielders not being able to progress the ball to the attackers and make them threatening attacking wise. That's Juventus' biggest problem. But they have only conceded 2 goals, whilst Paris Saint-Germain have conceded 4 goals. I mean, we play more open, we play more high risk, high reward football, and they play more defensive. So that just means it. Plus, Juventus haven't faced an attacking threat. Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain is the only attacking threat, similar to themselves. But we can see that Juventus have not had the best start. But I mean, Serie A is a much competitive league than Ligue 1, as we all know. But Juventus have only faced Roma from those top 6 places. Paris Saint-Germain have only faced Montpellier, beating them 5-2. But that is it. Missing players, Paris Saint-Germain have no missing player. I mean, Vitinha got injured against Nantes, but it doesn't feel serious enough for him to miss this game. Starting, it's still unsure, but I think he will start this game, especially with Renato not being on the best form so far at Paris Saint-Germain. But Juventus have a lot of players that are missing. They have Wojciech Szczesny, their goalkeeper, missing. They have Paul Pogba, they have Chiesa, Danilo, Paredes. So Pogba and Chiesa are 100% out of this game. Paredes as well. Paredes has a suspension from Champions League last season, whilst Chiesa and Pogba are injured. Danilo suffered an injury against Fiorentina, and Wojciech Szczesny had an injury since 2 days ago. So they are a bit unsure for this game, but Pogba, Chiesa, Paredes will definitely miss this game for Juventus. Managers, I mean, I have not liked Allegri's latest comments. I have not, because what he's trying to do, he's trying to motivate his players and put doubt on Paris Saint-Germain. Because when he comes out and says, we are competing with Juventus, we are competing with Benfica in this group, not with Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, first of all, why are you disrespecting your players like that in front of the media and everything? I mean, I don't like what he's doing, because that also means that if we beat Juventus with a big score margin, he will be like, yeah, I told you so. Or the media will be like, yeah, even their manager said that. This is not a big game for Paris Saint-Germain. And I definitely don't like that. Whilst Galtier comes into this game as serious as possible. He has taken every game so far at Paris Saint-Germain serious, even the preseason games. But we will see Galtier's first Champions League encounter with Paris Saint-Germain, and we have seen his debuts, his competitive debut. What a 4-0 win against Clermont. His Ligue 1 competitive debut was a 5-0 victory over Clermont, and his first home game was a 5-2 victory over Montpellier. So Galtier loves his debuts, and this Champions League debut for him will be the biggest match so far in his PSG career. And I know that Galtier takes this game extremely seriously, unlike Allegri. This is Paris Saint-Germain's predicted lineup. So the only missing player from Paris Saint-Germain actually is Kimpembe, who has a suspension in the Champions League for this game. Goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma, Ramos, Marquinhos, Danilo backline, Nuno Hakimi on the wings, Vitinha, Verratti in the midfield, and Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. As I said, I think Vitinha will start this game with Renato not being in the best form and Paris Saint-Germain wanting to send a message across Europe. And of course, it would be much better to have Vitinha there than Renato. But Renato wouldn't be the worst thing with Juventus midfield. Absolutely poor this season. But Eminem will start, wingbacks will start, defense, goalkeeper, allez Paris. And what wants to watch? Of course, it's Eminem. I mean, they have had 29 goals and assists in 6 games in Ligue 1 this season, and people are still saying, oh, Farmers League, it's only Ligue 1. Now they have to show that they can do it as well on the big stage against Juventus in the Champions League. So the pressure is on them to score the goals, whilst the rest of the squad is to defend and get the ball to Eminem. Looking at Juventus' predicted lineup, I have actually put out this predicted lineup, looked at the injuries and so far, and their midfield is absolutely dead with Paredes, Pogba missing, and if they're gonna play a youngster, if they play their usual 4-3-3, that means they will play a youngster in the midfield, which I don't think they will do. I actually think that Juventus will do like the other Ligue 1 teams, and that is to switch to a 5 at the back to counter Paris Saint-Germain. So we have Perin in goal, Bremer, Bonucci, Gatti in the centre-back line, Alexandro and Cuadrado as wing-backs, which will be actually better for both of them players because they are not the best defensively. Locatelli, McKennie midfield, Vlahovic, Di Maria, Kostic. For me, when I look at this Juventus team, I look at that midfield. Because what are Locatelli and McKennie going to do against Verratti, Vitinha? The worst thing about McKennie and Locatelli is that they are not ball winners. They cannot win the ball as good as Verratti, for example. And they're going to face Eminem plus that midfield, plus the wingbacks. And I think, Cuadrado still has good IQ and good pace, so he will be the tougher option, but still shit. Whilst Alexandro, I feel for him because I know how much Juventus fans hate him, and yeah, I don't think that he will have a good performance there. I think Hakimi will absolutely massacre him. But for me, the Paris Saint-Germain objective this game is to block that midfield, block those wingbacks from taking the ball to their attackers. Those are my ones to watch. It's Vlahovic and Angel Di Maria. Vlahovic has been superb so far for Juventus this season, especially with his free kicks. And Di Maria as well, when he faces a former team in the Champions League, he plays out of his life. So I believe and I predict that Di Maria will try his best this game, even though against Paris Saint-Germain, even though he played here last season, we saw how he did it against United and Real Madrid with us before. But as I said, for us, the key mission this game is to not let these attackers get the ball. Not because I'm really scared, I'm just saying that's the best way to keep Juventus completely out from this game, and that's to not let their attackers get the ball. And if their midfielders and defenders have the ball, it's all Paris Saint-Germain this game. My predicted is a 3-0 victory to Paris Saint-Germain. Eminem all on the score sheet. Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Neymar Jr. Juventus won't score in this game. As I said, I have the same feeling as that Bayern game and that Real game in the group stage. First game at home, 3-0. But the thing is, this Juventus side is much weaker than the Real Madrid and Bayern side. So a result of 4 goals, 5 goals isn't even that unpredictable. It all depends on how Juventus play this game, because most people are predicting them to park the bus this game. But we'll see what Paris Saint-Germain can do to counter that, and I believe that Galtier is already looking into everything about that. But that was the predicted preview for Paris Saint-Germain versus Juventus in the Champions League. Make sure to like this video to support the channel. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy my content. And as usual, allez, 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 bye.